Let me ask you something. Have you ever made a decision that felt completely rational at the time, only to later realize it was driven by fear? That's exactly what happened to me on the PCT, when I stared down a 50% chance of thunderstorms. I'll be honest, I've never been more grateful for the Trail Angels community. These are people who don't just drop off supplies, they are lifelines in a world where one wrong choice can turn a 10-mile day into a survival scenario. What makes this really interesting is how it reflects our human tendency to overestimate our control in unpredictable environments. I mean, here I was, a seasoned hiker, and I was panicking over a weather app. It's like we think we can outsmart Mother Nature with a couple of hours of planning. Spoiler alert, we can't. But what's fascinating is how the PCT community turns that vulnerability into something beautiful. That Facebook message from the Trail Angel wasn't just a ride, it was a reminder that we are never truly alone on this trail. From my perspective, the real magic isn't in the landscapes or the physical challenges, but in the moments when strangers become family. Like when I bumped into Juliet again. We'd missed each other for weeks, and suddenly there we were, sharing a beer in the middle of nowhere. It's wild how the trail forces you to confront parts of yourself you'd rather ignore. I've always thought of the PCT as a test of endurance, but now I see it as a mirror. That shoulder pain. It wasn't just a physical thing, it was a metaphor. Every time I tried to push through, it reminded me that ignoring our limits isn't bravery, it's stupidity. What many people don't realize is how the body communicates with us in ways we are too busy to listen to. I kept telling myself, it's just a tweaked muscle, but deep down, I knew I was running on fumes. And then there's the Donner Party story. Listening to that while setting up camp in the dark. That's not just eerie, it's a masterclass in psychological manipulation. The trail has a way of making you confront your deepest fears, and I'll admit, I was freaked out. But here's the thing, the Donner Party's story isn't just about survival, it's about the choices we make when everything falls apart. I'm not saying I'm in the same league as those pioneers, but I did have to make a decision that felt like a life or death moment. Should I push through the pain or take a day off? The answer wasn't obvious, but the universe gave me a sign, a fully booked hostel in Sierra City. That's when I realized the trail doesn't just test your legs, it tests your ability to adapt. And let's talk about the trail magic. Keith showing up with ice-cold drinks and umbrellas. That's not just kindness, it's a rebellion against the idea that the wilderness is a place of isolation. Every time I see those trail angels, I think about how much of our modern lives are built on convenience. Here, in the middle of nowhere, people are giving up their time and resources to help strangers. It's a reminder that humanity isn't dead, it's just hiding in plain sight. And then there's the reunion in Truckee. 4 familiar faces, a shared meal, and suddenly, I wasn't just a hiker anymore. I was part of something bigger. The PCT isn't just a route, it's a social experiment. It forces you to rely on people you'd never meet otherwise, and in doing so, it creates bonds that last long after the trail ends. But here's the deeper question, what happens when you finally reach your destination? I made it to Sierra City in one day, but the real victory wasn't the miles, it was the realization that I didn't have to be perfect. I could be tired, I could be in pain, and I could still find joy in the journey. The next day, I'll probably be back on the trail, but for now, I'm going to enjoy this moment. Because the best stories aren't the ones we plan, they are the ones that surprise us. And if you're out there listening, I'll leave you with this: sometimes, the most important decisions aren't about where you're going. They are about who you're becoming along the way.